Life is not the same for everyone. Some wake up to opportunity, others wake up to survival. Some are supported, others are silenced. Some are celebrated, others are barely tolerated. What looks like laziness may be exhaustion. What looks like distance may be self-protection. What looks like silence may be someone choosing peace after too much pain. Do not measure people by your privilege. Do not judge timelines you have never walked. Kindness is not optional in a world where many are fighting unseen battles. Be gentle, be aware, be kind, be human, because fairness is not giving everyone the same. It is understanding what each person is carrying. Hello, my friends. Welcome back. Grab your gloves because we're about to pour some magic. My name is Tammy, and I'm so glad you joined the chaos with me today. We have been invited to a collaboration. Yay! And that collaboration is with Laura and all of her affiliates. And that's Laura from Laura's Art Corner. She sent all of her affiliates a beautiful charcuterie board. And we are to create a beautiful design on our boards. She sent us some fiberglass, and all of us have to use this one pigment. It doesn't matter any other pigments you want to pair with it, but we all have to use this one, and it's her Lily of the Valley. And I think it's going to be beautiful up against that dark charcuterie board. And I picked out one of Laura's pigments to pair with my Lily of the Valley, and it's the white gold Spirea. And it's beautiful. It has a hint of gold in it. Can you see the top when I turn it to the side? I thought it would be beautiful paired with that Lily of the Valley up against this beautiful dark charcuterie board. I also pulled out my Super Sparkle Lime from Laura's Art Corner. It's a reflection glitter. And I think we might use it too. I believe it will be a good addition. Then I get a chance to use my cluster that I made. I built this cluster up all by myself. I made it from scratch. And I'm super excited about it. I think it's going to be a wonderful addition to our charcuterie board. So if you'd like to see how I get on with that, kick back, relax, and let's get to it. We're going to take this frog tape here. And we're going to tape off the back of our board with it. Okay, we got the back of our board taped. Looks good. Now we're going to go ahead and make our cluster. I have my resin here. I'm using the Bond Crafter epoxy resin. I did run it through my Let's Resin bubble remover machine. And I'm going to choose one of these Starry Color Series from Lightwish. We're going to pick out this Starry Color Green. And that'll give it some green hues at the bottom of the cluster here. And then I want to add a few of these at the bottom too, because it's going to bounce off of that green and give us that green color. So I'm going to spritz some alcohol down in there so we don't get any bubbles, hopefully. Bop it upside down, get any excess out. And we're going to go ahead and slowly pour until we fill those big clusters up. Go ahead and stop right there. I don't want to fill it up just yet. We're going to take some tweezers. If I can find my, there they are. And we're going to drop a few of these down in the big clusters. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put some more of that in, and then I'm going to stop. And then we're going to add some of this and then top it off and put 2 more of the flakes down there. And I just put 5 drops in it. I think that's going to be plenty. And I'm just going to move it around the base of the cluster. So we'll get those green hues when we demold it right there on the bottom. Now I'm going to go ahead and top it off. Then we're going to spritz some alcohol on it. And then we're going to add 2 of these, and that's it. Just 2. There we go. Now I'm going to take this glass here and just kind of make me a little trail. Marking about where I want it. I've picked out this metallic olive green by Lumiere, by Jaguar. And I'm only going to be painting my charcuterie board from here to here because that's the only place I'm going to be pouring. I want to leave, the board is so beautiful with that dark color. I want to keep it like that. So we're going to go ahead and put some of this paint in this little container here. I had problems finding a moss green, like a mossy green, because I wanted it to really look a lot like the lily of the valley. And I think I pretty much got that down pat. I hope. So we're going to go ahead and prep the board with this acrylic paint where I'm going to be pouring the resin. So I'm just going to kind of go along this line here of the glass. I'm going to grab some of these to get my board up off the table. Whoop, I went down too far. I'm getting green happy. I decided to do something else on my board here. So I'm thinking about putting some of my glass rocks here and down here. So I'm going to go ahead and paint that part and we're going to let it dry. I so wanted to start on it right now, but I'm just going to go ahead and do that because I think that's going to be really pretty. Okay, I think I'm good on that paint. Let's go ahead and demold this. And then I'm going to put this over there to dry, and I got to start on another video. I'm going to show y'all in my other video, though, what I scored at Hobby Lobby. Sorry, it won't be in this one. But you may see it before this video, so I don't know. I have to walk around this one slow because it's got so many pointy things in it, and I don't want to tear my mold up. I don't want to scratch it. And there she is. And see how that matches the green? It gives us those green hues. And I can see it in the alcohol ink right up through here. And all through here. I don't know if you can see it. But it's in there. And it looks beautiful. I love it. Okay. And I'm probably going to set it up here and build around it. I think that will be really pretty. All right, I'm going to go lay it over there, let it dry, and then I will see you later. I've got my board taped on the front too because I don't want to get any resin on this part of it. So I thought it would be best if I taped it too. Now I'm going to take my glue gun here and I'm going to go around the areas that I don't want the resin escaping to. So hopefully this will stop it. We're going to let that dry. And I went and got my rocks. Remember I got these the last time I ordered from Laura's Art Corner? And they're really pretty. I wonder if they would look good mixed in with our piece here. I don't know. I thought I'd grab them just in case. And I grabbed my glass glitter chunks from Laura's Art Corner. She sells these too. And they look really pretty when you're doing any kind of geode. But they look good on a lot of different resin art pieces, to be honest. And I also grabbed my diamonds because I don't know if I want to put a few of those around my cluster here. And then we have the Super Sparkle Lime. I was looking for that earlier. I forgot. It was over there on the table. We've got our Lily of the Valley and our white gold spirea. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up some resin and we're going to get to pouring. Please be nice. I've never done a charcuterie board before. This will be my very first one. And on your very first projects, it seems to be the ones that you learn the most in. So I'm quite sure I'm going to make some mistakes, some hiccups. But hey, we'll learn from them for the next charcuterie board that we do. Because sometimes when I do these projects, it throws me down a rabbit hole. And I just want to do more and more and more of the same thing. But in, you know, different colors and different ways. So, we'll see. We'll see where I land with this one. I could land on my feet or on my hiney. I've got 3 cups here with some resin in each cup. I have probably about 40 mils in this one, 40 mils in this one, which is probably too much, but I'd rather have more than not enough. And then about 20 mils in this cup for the glitter. So let's go ahead and mix up the Lily of the Valley in this one. I'm going to get me a big old scoop. I really like to mix my mica up in just a little bit of resin in the bottom of the cup. But as I was separating these out, I forgot to just put just a little bit in there. So I'm going to stay on the top of the resin there until I get all my powder wet. Okay, now I'm going to dive down in the cup and go ahead and mix it all up. Laura's mica powders are really, really easy to mix up in the resin. So I never had a mica powder clump with her pigments. Her mica powders or pigments. I got a blowout, y'all. Isn't that color beautiful? It's so beautiful. And it'll match my kitchen. My kitchen is done in this color. And like a cream. And then I threw in other colors too. Kind of like the, if y'all seen some of the kitchen towel sets by the Pioneer Woman. It's kind of like those colors I went with. It was this green and then like this cream color. But then I threw in a couple more colors. So now I'm just going to get me a hefty scoop of that out. We're going to get the Super Sparkle Lime. This is a reflection glitter. And I hope it's going to be a good choice for this. I think it is, but I don't know. I'm going to get 2 scoops. I almost forgot. I do want to add a little bit of gold to this. So I'm going to use my Pale Rich Gold from Laura's Art Corner. It's from Iridron. So I'm just going to get some of it out. And we don't need a lot of it because we're just drizzling a little bit. Isn't that beautiful? I may end up changing my glitter, you guys. I don't know if this reflection glitter is going to match with this gold. What do you think? That's going to look good. Yeah, that's going to look good. Scared me there for a minute. Okay, let's just do it. Just gonna give my cup a little bit of a stir. Now I'm just going to give it a little thin line of this glitter. I think I just want to finish it off with this green. Now we're going to go for this right here. I'm going to do the same thing down here. Oh, I hope this turns out pretty. Okay, now we're going to take the gold and I really just want to drizzle it really, really thin. Okay, now I'm going to take my little fan here and we're going to try to blow it out a little bit. Okay, I think I like that. What do you think? Do you think that looks pretty? All right, I think it looks good. Yep. All right, now we need to add our glass. I didn't want to get resin all over this. I don't know where I want to put this at. Maybe right there. Okay. And then I want to put some little pieces through here. Trying to find some tiny pieces. I don't want any big ones, just tiny ones. And I'm gonna need some to go on the sides too. So I'll have to let the resin get a little bit thicker and then add the glass on the sides so it doesn't fall right off. Or, oh, I should have used my glue gun to put them on there before I even started. Oh, goodness. Well, we're going to do a resin top coat anyway, so I can add it then. Okay, we're going to let this cure up, and then we will glue the glass on the edges there, and then do the top coat, and we'll be finished. See you later. Oh, but I wanted to let you know I'm going to cover this with my little net here. Just like that. Alright, now I'll see you later. I hope those lines aren't going to be too high that I made with the glue. Oh goodness, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I have my resin mixed up right here, my Bondcraft epoxy resin. And I'm a little worried about something I didn't think about. When we take that tape off and that glue, it's going to be a lump there. So what I'm going to have to do is remove this and let that resin spill out just a little bit onto the board. It's going to be quite tricky because I don't want it moving real far down the board. I just want it to drizzle just a little bit off of that. I have seen that before on charcuterie boards, and I thought it was a very nice touch. So that's what I'm going to have to do, but I'm going to have to be very careful in doing it. So what I think would be wise is let's go ahead and pour our resin. I went ahead and glued the glass on the side with my hot glue gun. I didn't want to make you watch that because I just hot glued it on there. That's it. Put some little beads of hot glue, slap the glass on there. But look how that turned out. Isn't that beautiful? I love how the colors moved. I was so worried about it, but it looks beautiful. Now the side right there's got a little, I probably can get that off, but I don't know. It's sitting in an odd spot. So I don't know. I'm a little worried about that. But everything looks good. I'm pleased so far. Now I went and grabbed my little chunks of glass. And we're going to place them around up in here and fill in those little pockets and areas right through here. See there? And I'm thinking about placing some of Laura's diamonds. Aren't those beautiful? And let those dance around. I also have some of her flying saucers. These are the AB pearls. She calls them flying saucers. So I call them that too. I thought it was a pretty cute name for them. Little tiny flying saucers. The alien's not home. But I thought those would match. So, don't you think? They have a green hue to them. And then, of course, we have our glass glitter chunks. Now, this right here, you cannot get, if the resin drizzles over it, it disappears. So, this has to set on top of the resin. And it's quite prickly. So, you have to be careful with it. Let's go ahead and get this done. I'm going to drizzle this right over my glass. And I'm trying to not go this way with it. So it's probably be a good idea to just get a stick and drizzle it with this stick. Alright, so I'm just going to drizzle just a little bit through here. And down through this area. Making sure I fill in all those gaps. I'm going to add some of these flying saucers. I'm just going to put a few on my board right there. And then just dip in the resin, pick them up, and place them. Okay, I think that looks good. Now I'm going to go ahead and drizzle some of this because we are finished. All right. I'm just going to dump the board like that. Get the excess off of it. I forgot I want to add a few of these too. Now here comes the scary part. I got to remove these gloves because they have resin on them. So I'll be right back. I'm going to leave one of them on while I pull this off. Okay, I got it up. And I was right. I guess I put too thick of a bead of the hot glue. So we're going to let the clear resin drizzle down and kind of blend in. But I don't want it going very far. I accidentally touched that side right there, so I'm going to drizzle a little bit more of this resin, clear resin down there. And see, I don't think it's going to matter on these because the rocks, the glass is going to be on this side. I hope it's not. If it does, then it's just a learning curve for me, you know? I just have to learn from it. But we're going to try to make it beautiful. So, I need to remove this too. I didn't think about that. Okay, I got it off. Let me show you. See there? So we're just going to drizzle a little bit of, I'm going to let the resin drizzle down a little bit off the board. Okay? So I'm not putting much on here. I'm going to be very careful what I put on here. Alright, I've got this thing covered and we are done. I will meet you back when it's time to see what it's doing. See you later. And we are finished with our board. So I'm going to go ahead and take all the paper off and we'll have a look-see at it. But I do need to heat up this glue around here right quick. Let's see if we can get that off. And here's how our charcuterie board turned out. I think it's absolutely gorgeous for my first one. Yep. I do need to fix that little piece right there. I lost a little glass chip. I put it somewhere. I don't know what I've done with it. But I'm going to glue it back on there and drizzle a little bit more resin right down through there to make sure it's locked on there and not coming off. And then there's that. How that turned out. Turned out really good. The back of the board looks really good. I had a little bit that, you know, came through my tape right there, but it was easy to scratch off. But I didn't want to scratch too hard because I didn't want to scratch the actual board. I think I left a piece there. Yeah. See that? Most of it just scraped right off. So yeah, I think it turned out really pretty. What do you think? Do you like it? Now, what we're going to do to finish it off, and I did want to point out something too. I don't know if you've seen it, but I don't want to try to hide it like it's not there. Where this came over that, I thought it was going to make a clean little sweep over it, but it kind of left a little bit of an indentation right there. And a little bitty one right there. And then I think a tiny, tiny one right there. So I thought about taking my gold marker and maybe going over that area right there. I don't know though. I don't know if that would be... I'm going to do it and see what it looks like. I don't know if I like that. It definitely needs to be thinner if I do it. And this marker's not thin enough, so I'll have to see if I have a thinner one and maybe do that. I don't know. What do you suggest? But other than that, I love how it turned out. But what we're going to do to go ahead and finish it off is I'm going to use the Stone and Concrete Clark's wax. It's an all-natural wax. It protects the surface and it is food safe. So I'm just going to massage it into my board. And then I'll let it sit. And then I'll buff it out. So we're going to go ahead and coat the board with it. Let it sit and soak that oil up. And then we're going to buff the oil out with like a little towel. Okay, we're going to let this set, let it soak it up, and then we'll buff it out with a towel. So I'll meet you back in about, whenever I get to it. You know, it really doesn't matter. But I'll let you know about how long I let it sit. Alright, see you later. I have buffed my charcuterie board out. And I couldn't be happier with the way this turned out for my very first charcuterie board. I think it looks fantastic. I love my cluster that I created myself. I'm really, really excited about that, friends. It's so beautiful. And look at my AB pearls, the flying saucers. Look how they are dancing around with the crystal clear glass glitter and the sparkle diamonds, all which you can find at Laura's Art Corner. Look at them just dancing, sparkling, just catching your eye. So very beautiful. And that glass glitter is close to the base of my cluster, which I'm getting a lot of sparkle from the cluster alone because it has a lot of my Dancing Bear Geode rocks in it. So beautiful. I love the colors. We use the white gold spirea and lily of the valley. These are Laura's pigments. And that green is luscious, paired with that white gold spirea. And then we used the little just lines of gold in there, which is the iridron pale rich gold. That's the color I used to make those beautiful gold lines. So very pretty. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And that's the back. It's going to look beautiful in my kitchen. Absolutely love it. I'm going to hang it on the wall in my kitchen as decoration. It's not going to be one that I actually use. Although you could use it. But if I were going to use this in my kitchen, I would get me a cutting board, one of the plastic ones like this. Little plastic ones. And I would trim out these areas where it would just slide on there and I could cut my stuff on it. Yep, that's what I would do if I were going to use this, so I don't mess my board up. So you could definitely use it if you wanted to. But I'm going to be using mine for decoration in my kitchen. I think it turned out absolutely beautiful, and I couldn't be prouder of it. So don't forget that you'll find a playlist that Tim from Base Resinator created for us. He always does our playlist. He does such a good job on them. You will find that in my description box. And please go watch everyone else's video and see how they created their charcuterie boards. Because the rule that we had, the one rule we had, was we all had to use Lily of the Valley. So that's going to be so much fun watching how all of us paired that color with whatever else we chose to make our charcuterie boards. You can find all of the supplies here that I used in Laura's Art Corner shop, unless it's specified otherwise in my description box. Let me know what you think about my charcuterie board. I would love to hear it. And let me know what changes you would have made. What would you have done differently? And it's about that time, my friends, for a sweet goodbye. And I will see you in the next video. God bless you. Goodbye, my friends.